What's up, Lions fans? Welcome to Season 1, Episode 36 of the Lions Main Podcast. On this episode, we look forward to the divisional round against the Commies and recap the wildcard games. As always, thank you for your support, and you can find us at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Lions Main Podcast.
This is the Lions Main Podcast.
What's up, fellas? Happy Tuesday. Good weekend of football. I know.
Hey, stop! Bring some energy. What's up, fellas?
Sorry. I'm in a little bit of a lull. I mean, we didn't get to watch the Lions, but we got to watch a little bit of good football. Was there any really good football? I guess the Buccaneers and Commanders game was good. The rest kind of were.
The least compelling matchup of the weekend was a good game, in my opinion.
No, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll get into a little bit of the wild card recap. We'll talk through each of the matchups. We even hit on a little bit of the AFC. I think the AFC is a little more exciting, especially as we go into some of these divisional matchups, excluding the Lions. No, fellas, how was your weekend? What are you guys up to? Watching football, just hanging out? What are you guys doing?
Go ahead, talkative.
Oh, sorry. No watching football. Didn't watch a lick of it. Took the weekend off.
Good.
As I said I was going to do, I don't watch football on Saturdays. Fuck no.
Right.
And, I will this Saturday. Obviously. But
no, be a man of your word.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch the Lions. No, it's a good weekend. I did catch a little bit of the Monday night game. But, didn't watch too much of it. Seen a lot of highlights, and I got shit last week for apparently watching Red Zone Gym is not adequate enough. That's not the premier way to watch football for grown men. You gotta do it like you did in college with 10 random piece of shit TVs everywhere and your phone. So,
and nine of them are commercial.
Huh?
I said you got 10 screens, but 9 of them are on commercials.
Right, and apparently you grew like 10 eyes and you're able to watch everything. And I think that was just a self-report for the gamblers of the group. So.
Well, if you take Adderall and bet on every single game, then you would be willing to watch 10 TVs at once. But not everyone on this podcast is able to do 2 of those things. So, you're a loser comparatively.
Yeah, I mean, some of us, we got to make sacrifices. It's football season. It's playoff season. We got to make sacrifices, So, some of us are willing to do that. Some of us have lives. So what did you do? Did you do anything fun? Go see a movie? Did you go see that Wolfman? Did that come out? No, that didn't come out yet.
No, I did watch Wicked, though. I watched Wicked on Sunday.
Ooh, how was that? Popular with the ladies, no?
It is. It is popular with the ladies.
Did you go with a lady?
I watched it with a lady, yes. It's good, though. I liked it. I watched it here, on streaming. I didn't go to the theater.
Oh.
But no, Wicked was good. Wicked was real good.
Good, man. Maybe I'll go see it. No, I'll see it when it comes out. I'm not going to go to the theater, so I'll watch it. Is it
Wicked
out?
Witch of the West?
Did you illegally stream it, or is it out?
I just got it on Amazon.
Oh, okay. You bought it, though? I'll wait till it comes out for free.
I bought it, but the way I looked at it was, my brother loves, theater and Wicked and all that.
Yeah.
He uses my Amazon. So I was like, Luke, just bought Wicked. You can go watch it as much as you want. So.
Beautiful.
How about that Nosferatu? Any of you guys see that one?
I have seen that.
Good or no? Worth it or not?
It's good. That director's great at setting a tone, a really eerie,
his tone
uncomfortable
is freak.
Tone. And,
his freak tone.
Robert
Egbert.
Right.
If you watch The Witch, The Lighthouse, Northman,
yeah,
he's good at doing that, and it's like that in this, and it's a horror. It's a horror movie, and it's like, ugh.
Would you call me
a slut? No, but it's a good horror movie, and it's different though. I will say, don't watch it with your mother. You'd be a little uncomfortable.
Okay. Freak mode. How about you, freak mode, James? What'd you do this weekend?
Yeah, man, I was freak maxing all weekend. I was, weird pilled. No, I had a good weekend. I did watch football on Saturday because if our soldiers can fight for us, I can watch football on Saturday. Make small sacrifices. Exactly. And honestly, that was great. I did the opposite. I took this weekend to do nothing but watch football. It was nice. Actually, it was horrible because the game sucked. So I actually kind of regret using my weekend to watch football. I did get to see my parents Get free stuff out of them. Always nice. Get some free food. Take it number 2 in their bathroom. Hopefully they don't listen to this. I don't think they listen to most of these. So.
Is the banana stain still up on the ceiling?
The banana stain is gone.
Damn,
I'm not going to tell everyone about the banana stain, but it's exactly what it sounds like. There's no sexual innuendo. It was a banana stain. No banana stain, no wet paper towels.
I was there for that.
Yeah, complicit. People always want to seem like they're like these great people, but when crime happens, they just stand by.
Well, there was a bully. There's a bully that was around. So
if someone was killing a little kid in front of you with a hammer, would you just say, "Well, there was a guy with a hammer"?
yeah. Killing children's the same as a little banana goo.
Well, when Jim's parents got home, they about near killed him.
Yeah, both resulted in goo.
Oh my god!
I don't know about that one. Paul.
I was talking about the kid getting beat to death in the banana, but yeah, my parents abused me as a kid. No, they didn't. They were great parents. But no, I had a good weekend.
Good, man. My weekend is very similar to yours. Unfortunately, I watched the football games. The college football games are a little bit better. Actually, much better. But NFL, no, it kind of stunk. I did get enjoyment, though, and this is probably a good time to get into our first segment, the wild card recap. But I did get some enjoyment out of that last Monday night game. So, Vikings and LA. I love seeing the Vikings get the shit stomped out of them. Seriously. I don't know what it is, but is that the most fraudulent team in all of pro sports? I mean, Drew was ranting about it.
Drew's not here, but we were talking to him yesterday, and he would not stop with the fraud. Just fraud. I can't believe these fucking frauds. And I don't think they're that big of frauds. LA is good, and I know they started doing bad, and like people were predicting them to not win this game. What's that face for? I predicted LA to win this last week.
They are frauds, in my opinion.
LA?
No, the Vikings.
I mean, no, LA's good. LA's good.
They are good.
The Vikings, a 14-win team, should not get absolutely gut pumped 2 weeks in a row.
I mean, just looking at record takes away context, and context is everything. LA's good, baby.
LA's good, but guess what? If I would say this, if the Lions in this next round against the Commanders or even against the Eagles get truly run off the field, I would say that's a little bit fraudulent in terms of what the expectation was. People's expectations, or at least what the Vikings were saying, the media was saying, like, tough break for the Vikings, but if anybody can do it other than the Eagles or Lions, it's them. No shot. By the way, that Rams team, they played a good game. That was much more about Sam Darnold looking like cheeks, their offensive line being cheeks. And honestly, it's those two things. If you watch the game, their offensive line wasn't great. Dude collapsed. Sam Darnold collapsed.
Right. The offensive line wasn't great at all. He was getting swarmed.
He set the record for the most sack yards taken in a playoff game ever. And
some of that is on the quarterback too.
No, a lot of it. They read off so the average depth of a sack is 4 or 5 yards. Not one of his sacks was less than 5 yards. He would literally, half the sacks were 6 or 7 seconds long. Jared Goff, hate him or love him, he's obviously not Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. If he thinks
Jalen Hurts, I don't want Jalen
running the ball.
Yeah,
come on now, context. But if he doesn't see something open in 4 or 5 seconds and he feels any sort of pressure, you know what he's doing? It looks unathletic as shit, but he just does throw it right in the dirt, as close to someone's foot as possible.
At a blocking tight end's feet.
He's not doing the sit back there for 8 seconds, 7 plays. I mean, dude, Sam Darnold literally fucked them in that game. And their offensive line was bad. Their defense, I don't even think played horrible. I think their defense got put in some really bad spots. And so I think that's why they're fraudulent. Is not because they don't have a good team, but because they relied on a guy who, let's be honest, maybe he's starting quality, but not a guy that's going to lead you to a Super Bowl. He's a good bridge quarterback.
Right, great bridge quarterback.
Lost and don't worry, a lot of money.
Sucks for us, but Vikings fans, don't worry. The Messiah is coming, and he's here. National champion, J.J. McCarthy. I hate it as a Lions fan, but it's his time, and Sam Darnold proved it. He's not getting another contract, so. But hey, the Rams were home.
You said he looked good on the sideline, right?
He did. Yeah, he looked like a a
You
hospital
look like a
patient
bona
on the
fide
sideline.
starting playoff quarterback next year.
You look like a bona fide lymphoma patient.
He'll be back. Hey, but the Rams are home.
He'll
though,
be
right?
back.
So, I mean,
we don't want him to be back in the playoffs.
he will be. Honestly, man, they're too good. JJ is gonna feed families for years, man. Unfortunately, I can't hate on greatness. Fair enough.
I hope he has an elbow injury. Minor, but
Career ending.
Tommy John.
He can still get his rookie contract though, and maybe some extra insurance money. Make him rich. But
Right.
I guess
I will say the Rams played well, had a great game strategy, put pressure, were causing havoc on defense. It did not make me think that I still think the Eagles will handle business against them, and I think it's for two reasons. One, the Vikings were a big play offense all season. That's just how they played. And when they didn't get the opportunity to make big plays against both us and the Rams, they struggled, right? I mean, against the Lions, we put ourselves in bad spot a couple times, one with the Goff pick, there was another short field or two, and they couldn't convert because they don't have that methodical type of offense. And so the Rams defense is good, especially up front. Their secondary is not that special. So if they get against a quarterback who can make quick decisions like Goff, I don't know about Hurts.
Not Jalen Hurts, no.
No, but the thing about the Eagles is Saquon Barkley is so good that the only way for you to beat them is to try to limit him to like 100 yards, which is still fantastic, and hope that Jalen Hurts has one of his bottom 50th percentile games. Can they beat him? Sure, but I didn't come away from that game like the Rams are this world beater team. I think the Vikings truly looked horrible.
No, I agree with you, and I think that's a good way to end that discussion over that wild card game. But a good segue into the Eagles because that's the next matchup. But the Eagles beat the Packers 22-10, and as good as the Eagles look at times, they look equally horrible. They kind of like stall out, and so like you talk about like Jalen Hurts having the ability to move the ball with his legs, but throwing the ball to his big name receivers just isn't there, at least for like what seemed like half the season sometimes. So, I mean, do you seriously think if Matt Stafford is playing at the level that he played in this game against the Vikings, and Jalen Hurts plays at the level that he did in the game against the Packers, beating a Packers team that did everything they could to lose that game essentially from the starting kickoff, you think Jalen Hurts can really go out there and beat Matt Stafford 1v1, dicing the ball down the field?
He doesn't have to beat him 1v1 though. Matt Stafford's clearly a better quarterback. I don't think there's any. To me, the Eagles are going to win with their defense and running back, and that, as good as the Vikings defense is, hypothetically, a lot of it is Brian Flores had a good scheme the front half of the year. They have, like we looked at their defense a couple weeks ago, they have some real good guys: Cashman, Van Ginkel, Grenard. They have some real studs. The Eagles have studs at damn near every position. Yeah, I mean, look at that! Look at that defense.
Drew says they're the team with the most guys.
Yeah, Drew's on everybody's nuts but ours though. So I mean,
Drew.
Do you think Nick Sirianni is going to outcoach Sean McVay?
Hell no.
Fuck no.
No, but Vic Fangio might.
Vic Fangio might. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I mean, I'm not extremely impressed, like I said, with the Eagles' performance against the Packers. The Packers deliberately tried to lose the game. Starting kickoff fumble, like a third down in the fourth quarter when they needed a stop. They had a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. Jordan Love needs to be investigated because I think he had money on the Eagles. He was fucking horrible. How was he the MVP favorite to start the year? He was fucking horrible. The Eagles' defense isn't world beaters. They're not world beaters. I don't think their DBs played a really good game, I think, against Jordan Love, but I don't know. They got some good pieces, but what are your thoughts? You think their defense is that good?
I do. I think so. I mean, they've drafted good players. They got two white guys starting. I know that's not a good look normally, but the one they drafted, the other one's earned, and they have Darius Slay too. Who's the other guy? Oh, CJ Gardner-Johnson
and Quinyon Mitchell.
They got a good. I'm looking at backs, like defensive backs. That's a great lineup.
True,
I mean, you don't normally have that many good ones, I'd say.
Guys, yeah. And they do have an all-pro linebacker, and was it Braun or Bond?
Bond.
Bond, one of those. And then they also have a young and veteran defensive line. So I mean, maybe, but like, I don't think they handled business against the Packers. I think Jordan Love just sold, like, absolutely horrible. And they had injuries to the receivers and whatnot. So
yeah,
Jaden
their
Reed
receivers,
left the
they
game.
were playing with like backup receivers,
Backups, and
on great DBs. So like that
Right.
matchup is not great. I mean, I didn't watch the game. Apparently, you said Jordan Love sucked. I mean,
He was not
sucked.
good.
No, he's
He was
horrible.
not good.
He was
Right?
absolutely
they
good.
paid that man. Quarterbacks are getting paid way too much, way too soon.
$55 million
It's
a year.
insane.
That was an asinine contract. The thing is, like, you do have to pay quarterbacks. So, like, a guy like Goff, I'm fine with what he got because he has a track record of being, at minimum, an above-average quarterback. He's at minimum a playoff quality quarterback.
Right.
He's proven that, I think, and I think way higher. But that's what I'm saying is there's a minimum standard, I think. So he got $50 million a year. Because guess who's going to get 65 the next time it comes up? One of the guys that's a tier of, that be perceived tier above him. There are some guys who are probably just better. But a guy like Jordan Love comes in, has admittedly a really hot finish to a season where he started like ass. So he had a good stretch, plays good in the playoffs. They say, fuck it, this is our guy. I guess I get it. They had to make a decision because he was going into this is his 5th season. And they picked up his rookie contract, or his 5th year deal, 5th year option, sorry, and then decided to, give him the deal. I guess I get it. Like you want to show confidence, you don't want to rattle the confidence, but man, it might bite them because I get people say, oh, he's been injured this season, sure, but like he's been pretty mediocre all year, and that game against that's again why I think it's a fair point to say the Eagles the defense wasn't necessarily like insane because he was just horrible.
Horrible, yeah.
And like Darnold just takes the cake. Luckily, Darnold makes people forget about how bad Love was. But
yeah,
the NFC North had a bad quarterback wild card. And you guys are right. 3 of their 4 receivers are down in the middle, and at some point in that game or before the game. Dontavian Wicks is the only starter that ends the game. They've got dudes who can't, Bo Melton is I guess their 5th receiver. They've got a guy named Heath. They were down to 3, I think, receivers by the end of the game. 3 healthy receivers. So the Eagles were the better team, but the Packers really did screw themselves.
Yeah. No, it was an absolute horrible performance from the NFC North. And George and I called it. I mean, you should have been on the last pod. We did our picks for the NFC teams, and Drew got every single one wrong. I got every single one right, and I think George, you hit 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I didn't predict the Commanders.
Right? So, and we were screaming at Drew. We're like, "Fade all of your picks, fade them," and he's like, "Nah, I'm going with my heart." And he got fucking schwacked. I mean, he thought that we were gonna. I think he was going for like his fairy tale scenario, and he wanted Packers divisional round, and then he wanted the Vikings in the NFC Championship. But dude's a bum. Dude needs to keep his money in his pockets.
Right. At what point do you say to yourself, I mean, we have a list of all the bets we've lost of his. I mean, right there's another instance. At what point do you hang it up with the betting?
Well, maybe his hobby is lighting money on fire. Like maybe that's what he likes to do in his spare time and just get some cash and burn it.
Like an anti-capitalist type vibe?
Yeah. Actually, Drew is on his Rose Twitter Eat the Rich behavior lately. He actually switched. He used to be full-blown MAGA. Now he's Rose Twitter. George is pumping his fists internally happy.
One of George's idols now.
Yeah,
someone for George to look up to.
George does look up to Drew physically and emotionally. I do too, physically, but no, that doesn't
look
surprise
up to
me
him
at all.
Physically.
Well, we both do because he's a giraffe neck, but
it's all about how tall you feel, and when I'm in the room, he feels like a mouse.
That's great.
I know, I like that one. That one's good, George. That was actually phenomenal. I like that. We'll talk about for once, honestly. We'll talk about the Commanders Bucks last. Let's just briefly touch on some of these AFC matchups because I am extremely interested in these divisional matchups. Tons of implications for us moving forward because we'll obviously be in the Super Bowl. But first matchup, so Broncos scored first. Bo Nix looked like he had arrived. He looked like him and Jaden Daniels were truly competing for that Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. But Josh Allen dominated, and the Broncos disgustingly lost 31-7. I mean, I didn't expect much out of it, but Josh Allen went off. He popped off. And actually pretty interesting. So Lamar Jackson owns the record for the most rushing yards by a quarterback during the regular season. Josh Allen just passed Lamar Jackson in this last game for most rushing yards by a quarterback in the playoffs. So our next matchup, we got the Ravens. They went against the Steelers, and they handled business. I mean, Russell Wilson and the Steelers looked horrible in the last, 5 straight losses. Mike Tomlin is the GOAT of getting a 9-8 or 10-7 record and then shitting the absolute bed in the playoffs. So no surprises there. Lamar Jackson again snapped, and that's setting up a matchup between Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. If you're going to watch the Lions game, obviously, right? If there's any game to watch, George, any game other than Lions watch, you got to watch Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, dude.
Right. No, I will.
MVP.
It's on Sunday, too, so you got to watch it.
Right. No, that's clean. That's clean football day. Clean.
That's God's day, football.
Lord's day. The Lord prays over football.
That's the only sport he cares about, actually.
That's the American way, yeah. Does this game have MVP implications? Could this determine?
I think they technically vote before the game, but if they don't, then yeah. I mean, I think it would be determined.
And do you think the winner wins MVP? Or do you think it's already determined? Do you think it's already?
You know what? Fate. Actually, this is probably one of the closest MVP races I can remember. Normally we already know by now who's a shoo-in for MVP. I actually think what's going to happen. I'm going to try a Drew here, and it's probably going to backfire. The winner of the MVP will lose this game. We don't know who won the MVP yet, but whoever gets awarded the MVP will lose this game.
Ooh, that's interesting. What do you think about that, George? Think that's true?
I mean, I have no fucking clue. He's pulling that out of his ass. He's pulling that purely out of the air.
Yeah.
Do I think that's true? I mean, depends on what you say. If they get lucky and they vote before the game and then they lose, that's the only way Jim's right. If they vote after, it's the winner. It's got to be the winner because it's neck and neck.
Are you team Josh Allen's our savior or Lamar's goated? Which team are you?
Lamar.
Amen.
Lamar. It's been Lamar. I've been saying that for so long.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
Dean put me on him way early. I mean, I liked him in college, but then when he got to the league, I was like, focused. Detroit, and he was like, dude, Lamar's pretty sick with fantasy, and I was like, yeah, he is sweet. I loved him in college.
Right.
He honestly, if somebody's listening to this and hasn't watched Lamar Jackson play in college, just look up those highlights. Those are
ridiculous.
Sweet.
You're a race trader, George.
They're insane.
Huh?
You're a race trader.
Yep, I'm yeah, never mind. I was gonna try to come up with
Says the guy with the black wife.
Well, I like my wife's black and my quarterback's white. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm leaving that in.
Yeah, you can leave that one in. No, by the way, voting already ended for MVP. It's hard to pick between those two because those two are my favorite quarterbacks. That it sucks that Mahomes exists because if it weren't for him, I think they'd each have a Super Bowl title by now, and people would stop doing that. He can't win the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar has had worse playoff career than Josh Allen. Part of that's due to team, part of that's due to circumstance, whatever. So I think it's more important for him to win this game because I think Josh Allen has played well in those losses too. So I don't think he gets as much of hey, he can't play in the playoffs type of thing.
Right.
And candidly, I hope whoever wins this game loses to the Chiefs because these are the two teams that scare me the most by far in the entire rest of the playoffs.
I completely agree with you. I think the Chiefs have a better chance of beating the Ravens, so I want the Ravens to beat the Bills this game. I'm going for the Ravens. I want them both to be fucking eliminated by the time we get to Super Bowl.
You know what else I wouldn't mind if the Rams upset the Eagles just because I think they're the third best team. And if we get to play the Rams and Chiefs, I think that if we beat the Commanders, of course, got to beat them.
Right.
I think we can beat the Eagles. I know they're good.
Oh no, we're gonna beat the dog shit out the Eagles.
We'll beat them, but I'm just saying if I could optimize.
If you watch that,
but that's what I'm saying. Optimize. I'm like, I don't know. LA's hot right now. LA's hot, literally on fire.
Yeah. It's all about getting hot at the right time. It's about being healthy and getting hot at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And
being healthy. They're the healthiest
Eagles are
team.
not impressive, bro. They're not impressive. Jalen Hurts is. We'll get back to the AFC again, but Jalen Hurts is so underwhelming. I think you're going to see a game. You're going to see a Rams game that comes down to like the final snap of the game. Yeah, but let's talk about the next matchup, the last matchup. So this is probably I think this was the matchup that no one was talking about. They were saying that the Chargers were going to get a bye because the Texans are playing so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna put this joke out there. I just want to say, first and foremost, obviously, prayers, and we wish the best for everyone out in LA. Horrible shit going on right now. So in any way you can help, try to get out there and help. But imagine your city burning down and then your franchise quarterback throwing 4 picks. Well, that not just ruin your year's ruined, but then they just like put the icing on the cake.
At least they have the Rams.
If Detroit burned down and then Goff threw 4 picks, man, that's
you see a whole bunch of people lined up on the Windsor Bridge, the bridge going into Windsor. You'd see a line of people holding hands.
I'd throw myself into that fire. Are you kidding me? That'd be horrible.
George, you live in the heart of Detroit, top floor, bro. You would
have already been burning, buddy.
You couldn't escape. Anyways, we're making light of a horrible situation, but
well, no, you're good. You were just making fun of Justin Herbert more than anything, buddy.
Exactly.
Blows Chiefs. Well, he doesn't. That's exact. I hate when people do that shit. But you know what? Let's go for Skip Bayless level takes. He sucks.
Wait. You know why they lost, right?
Jim Harbaugh, worst coach.
Yeah, he got trapped in the dirty bubble.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that is amazing. I'm so glad they did that. Fuck Jim Harbaugh. I love that dirty bubble got him. Love that. That guy's a fucking weirdo.
50 Cent. Why fuck me? What'd I do? What'd I say?
I didn't say anything to you.
No, I'm saying it's the 50 Cent me. Like the video's like, why is fuck me though?
I see.
It's karma for Connor. It's karma for Connor Stallions. That's all I know.
Hey, he had a great season. Honestly, to turn them around like that, it is what it is. Yeah. Hey, Justin Herbert in hypothetical situations is the GOAT. Okay? Let it be known. In hypothetical situations, he's the GOAT. In real life, he's a 9-8 quarterback for the rest of his career, and 10-7 quarterback. That's what he's gonna be. And
he's like the new Phillip Rivers.
The new Phillip Rivers. Yes, that's a great comparison, except he doesn't air that bitch out like him.
His game's a little different, but yeah, I think the point stands that he's like a borderline elite, but will never be considered elite because you just can't get it done.
Right. At least Phillip Rivers left with something. He's got like those. I don't know if he has the yard records. It's probably Breeze, but he's up there. Like Phillip Rivers is like
kid
top
record
5
too.
If Phillip Rivers, again hypothetical, if Phillip Rivers existed at a slightly different time, like 10 years earlier, he probably would have been considered a better quarterback.
Maybe one of the GOATs. Low key with that arm talent, that big body, that arm talent,
the throat goat.
Exactly. Anyway,
his wife is not the throat goat. She's more of a.
I was about to say she's more of a procreator.
Jesus.
Yeah, a cum dumpster.
The Texans.
Okay.
The Texans. I'm trying to talk off the point. Handled business with the Chargers, and now they got the Chiefs. Do you think they have a chance?
Yes. The Chiefs, everyone knows the Chiefs turn around the playoffs, and they do. And they do.
And
they'll probably make the Super Bowl, and they'll probably win the Super Bowl, and everyone will probably say, fuck this team. But the bottom line is the Chiefs this year have a couple of extreme issues or glaring issues they didn't have in past years. Even though they're 15-2 and really 15-1 when their starters played, they didn't look dominant in most of their games. They had a couple good games. Mahomes is still Mahomes at times. Kelsey still has, and he's been playing better lately. They still have Chris Jones. Great. All that's great. Still have good players. Their defense does not have pure difference makers like they did in the past other than Chris Jones. They have a lot of good, solid players. Chris Jones is the only true game changer on defense. On offense, Mahomes is really the only game changer. Kelsey's still good. Their running backs are solid. Their receivers are not that great. But if you really look at them top to bottom, if Mahomes was not on that team, they're probably a 10-win team. If you take like a league average quarterback and put them on that team, they probably have 9-10 wins. Sam Darnold on that team probably gets them to the playoffs as the 6th or 7th seed. Maybe, actually. Mahomes is the reason that they are where they are. And some favorable schedule, some shitty games against bad teams.
Some black magic.
That being said, Chiefs 42, Texans 7.
Yeah, I think they'll win too. I think so.
Gotta be fucking
I would
confident
love.
there, Jim.
I mean, that happened last year. Stars were aligning. I was like, man, I really hope we don't have to play the Ravens in the Super Bowl, God willing. And then when the fucking Ravens lost to the Chiefs, I was like, oh, perfect. We can.
Then we
beat
were
the
up at
fucking Chiefs
halftime. You
again.
were like, perfect.
I know, dude. I literally was losing my mind. I was sitting in my house. I was like, we're about to go to the Super Bowl. We're about to play the Chiefs. It could not get any better. I was like, this is the best case scenario for us. We're going to take down the Chiefs, be the heroes of the world. Fucking damn near ended up I cried and wanted to kill myself by the end of the day. I can't even believe the highs and lows.
I love heroes of the world.
I love the heroes of the world. I love it. That's the name of the episode for all of our listeners.
Yeah.
But we got our final matchup. So I glossed over this when we talked about the NFC, but Buccaneers versus Commanders, probably the least sexy matchup that anybody was talking about, if they even were. But the Commanders got an upset, 23-20 over the Buccaneers. You guys scared? Did you guys see anything Jim? Did you see anything in this game from Jaden Daniels of the Commanders that makes you a little uneasy?
There's literally one thing. It's just Jaden Daniels. That's it. I mean, I'm not trying to insult them because they did make the playoffs and they've got, some solid guys, similar with a lot of defenses, including ours in its current iteration. Like, it's got good players on it. I mean, we have a couple guys in our secondary that are true game changers, but they've got some guys, but no one crazy. On offense, McLaurin is a good receiver, but probably top 10-ish, but we've played guys like that multiple times this season. They haven't shredded us like years past.
Right.
Their running backs are meh. Their offensive line's meh. But Jaden Daniels is legitimately him. He's one of the best. He doesn't play like a rookie. That's a cliche at this point, but like he makes a mistake, he goes right back out there and says, "Screw it. I'm going to do the right thing this time, but I'm going to do it at such a high level because his right thing is something that most people can't do. He can run the ball so efficiently. I mean, he still takes whack-a-mole hits sometimes, but like he doesn't fumble the ball. He's not like putting the ball in harm's way consistently. The only way I could see them winning the game is if Jaden Daniels, if we just can't figure out, because if you really watch the game, how the Buccaneers got caught was they put two guys to spy him so he couldn't run around. Right. And what does he do? He just picks apart their secondary. Now, I don't think we'll have the same. The only way we lose if Aaron Glenn comes out and does the exact same thing and basically says like, we're not going to let you run at all, but that's not Aaron Glenn's style. I think Aaron Glenn's style is going to be, try to contain the run to a degree, but don't do it at the expense of letting him just chuck the ball all around the yard. So if the only offense they're getting is him with his legs, that's fine.
I watched, during the game, I watched Baker Mayfield truck Bobby Wagner. So I have no doubts that Gibbs and Monty are going to run through their fucking defense. Jaden Daniels is scary, right? For all the reasons that we say that Lamar and Josh Allen are scary. When it's third down and long, and you know that they can use their legs to get the first down, those ones that make you want to strangle somebody. It's like 3rd and 18. You see him scamper for 19 yards. Like, what the fuck? Where's Anzalone? Anzalone's 40 yards downfield trying to chase down Terry McLaurin.
The hair.
You're screaming at him.
He gets him, but they're in the 5.
Right. For all those reasons, you're a little nervous, but the skill positions aren't there. Like Zach Ertz is a great veteran, and he's been phenomenal. I think a great addition especially if you're like a young rookie quarterback, that's a great addition to have, a veteran tight end. But besides Scary Terry, there's not a receiver on that roster that I'm nervous about. McCaffrey, fuck out of here. Is he even NFL like talent?
That cracker's a nepo baby. No, he's
he is.
He's not horrible. He's actually a decent player, but he's I mean, they got guys. You want to know the names of wide receiver 2 and 3 on their team? Not insulting the guys. They're way more successful than I am. But Alameda Zaccheaus and De'Ami Brown. Get fucking real.
Yeah, get real.
By the way, go ahead.
No, yeah, you finish your point.
I was going to say, if they somehow hear that and this somehow motivation and we lose because of it, I will literally go out in Times Square naked. and I'll deal with the consequences. I'll do it.
Wow. That's if the receivers have a good game and we lose.
And they hear
and they attribute it to this. They say, I heard a little known podcast.
They're in the locker room, like smoking on that James Mack pack.
They have the video of you.
You're smoking.
See you in Times Square.
They're but just speaking of the guys on their team and silly names, did you see who they have 4 tight ends? Do you see who their 4th tight end? His name?
What's his name?
It's Colson Yankoff. That's a fun one. That's a good one.
He's been dealing with that his whole life.
I know.
That's been a problem for him.
But shout out to their defense, former Lion and fire up Chippewa over here, Nick Ballore, fullback and linebacker. I said shout out defense because he plays linebacker, fullback, that type of shit.
You rooting for him? You rooting for him this weekend?
Well, he's like pretty low on the depth chart, so no.
But if he gets a one-on-one chance to sack Goff, you're gonna hope he does it, or
if we're up 40 points, sure, I'll take.
You want him to hit Goff? That's crazy.
How about Hendon Hooker?
Right, I don't want him to hit Goff. Hendon
Well,
Hooker, sure.
David Blau, they signed him off the practice. They put him in the field for some reason.
Actually, yeah, I want David Blau to get signed off the practice squad, get moved up, play, and I want
practice
Nick Ballore to power bomb his bitch ass.
Wow, David Blau, nice guy.
Yeah, nice David Blau.
Hey, by the way, brother-in-law of Christian Gonzalez on the Patriots, David Blau is.
Oh wow! So
put some respect on his wife's name.
His sister and his wife are the Olympians. Olympian.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Well, yeah, but this is a football podcast, not an Olympics podcast. On our Olympics podcast, which we do on Wednesdays, we can talk about that.
Right.
Yeah, George, save it for that. Come on, you know better.
Come on.
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, but I mean, so, dude, I'm looking at their offense. Besides Jaden Daniels, Eckler, what is he? 32 years old. What is he? Georgia's size and 32 years old. I'm not afraid of him. Brian Robinson, didn't he get shot?
Okay. Him and Ricky Pearsall.
There's no world beaters
Brian
out there.
Robinson got shot?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, another Chippewa connection, by the way. Austin Eckler's wife or fiance or something, Central Michigan.
Yeah,
so George is
that's
rooting for the
bizarre.
Commanders.
I'm just scrolling Instagram and somebody I know is like at a bachelorette party and like I look at who the groom is and it's fucking awesome. Not the bachelorette party, but the shower. And
Right.
it's fucking Austin Eckler. I was like, what the hell? Yeah.
Went to Snow Bunny University, I guess.
Apparently.
You follow that account, Jim?
No, but I've seen it. I've seen it.
I've seen it too. I don't follow. For the record, I don't follow. But no, and then looking at look at the matchups on our offense. So we're expected to have David Montgomery back, full participant. There's nobody on that defense. I just said Bobby Wagner got fucking trucked by Baker Mayfield. No one on the defense that I'm scared of. There's no defensive scheme that they can come up with. Their coach is up for Coach of the Year. There's nothing he can come up with that's going to beat the Detroit Lions offense. Not a thing.
Nada.
And I can't even. I guess the one thing, if we do look at our defense, so if you look at like our success from 2 weeks ago, we blitzed the Vikings 56% of our possessions, right, of their possessions, and Darnold did horrible, and the Rams came with a similar game plan. If we blitz Jaden Daniels, if we go like one man, right, send the linebackers, have them spy, whatever, he has the third highest quarterback rating against the blitz. So like I'm not very. I don't know what our game plan is going to be. Did we do they have the double spy kind of like they did last game and got fucked over by it, or like what's the game plan, Jim?
So there's two competing thoughts in my head. One, which is a question on the statistic, which I don't know the answer to, which is, are those teams that are blitzing playing man or zone? Because we do know that Aaron Glenn plays one of the highest rates of man coverage, and while McLaurin is a good fast receiver, we can cover him. We can.
Right.
Like he'll get if we stick Terrion out there. Like, by the way, I'll take a few pass interferences if it, like, even in a big game, if it stops a receiver, because the more physical you are throughout the game, they're less likely to call like your average pass interference, which is just smart. But anyways, point being, if a lot of that is because people are playing zone, yeah, quarterbacks, if you have an easy, like that's how Goff beats blitz a lot. If they're playing zone, you kind of already know where the open spot's going to be. same with man, if someone beats their man right away or if someone's uncovered, but in a zone, if there's a wide open zone, the quarterback getting blitzed, easy. If they're a good quarterback, which Jaden Daniels is. So that's my first thought. The second thought is I do think that the Buccaneers, they have a good linebacker group. They actually have a pretty solid defense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they had a horrible game plan against them. I think the real issue was their offense in terms of time of possession just could not stay on the field. They had a couple 3-and-outs. They also had that Baker fumble, which sucks because
right.
really like Baker. And so I think it was like 35-24. So they had almost 50% more time of possession the Commanders did. So if you're able to possess the ball that long, if Tampa's offense can't get anything going, now the Lions, I think, to complement the defense, I think they'll come out and run the football. I think they'll run the football. They'll take up time of possession. They'll wear that Commanders defense out. And so if the Commanders are forced into a couple 3-and-outs and the Lions are able to string a couple drives together, that's just devastating for a team. So I don't have an exact answer. Otherwise, I'd probably be making more money doing something else. But I think it's a combination of we're going to play more man than a normal team, and our offense is going to have to possess the ball more.
No, I agree with that sentiment. I don't have much more to say about this game, but I don't think the Lions are going to punt the ball one time this game. I don't think so.
Okay.
Monty coming back. This is like when you just look at the game exclusively in the matchup. Fine, they got a good defense. Jaden Daniels scary. Ford Field is going to be on another fucking level. Jaden Daniels is going to walk into an environment he never got at LSU. He didn't get that hit. Ford Field is like no other place, especially during the playoffs. And we can say that now because they didn't see it before. They didn't know what it looked like before.
Not now full and loud like it is now.
Not full and loud like it is now. It's a completely different arena. And when you take that into account, they're not ready. The Commanders are not ready for this shit. And we're gonna punt. If they do we get to do the coin flip, get the ball first. Monty's out there, run through their fucking face for one drive. We will not punt the ball a single time.
Do you think that Monty will start the first drive?
Probably not. But I just always like seeing him run the ball one time to start the game.
Right,
but
like we were saying, good.
I think genuinely Gibbs should run the ball 80% of the runs. I don't want Monty to aggravate it when we could have him for the NFC Championship in the Super Bowl. So
yeah, no, I like that. I won't go that far, but I think I like the prediction because it's number one, it would be awesome, and number two, I think the Ford Field thing is more realistic. Like college football stadiums do get pretty raucous. However, there's something about a dome. Number one.
Oh yeah.
Number two, the Lions yes, Alabama fans care. People are going to go, what the hell are you talking about? But, Alabama fans care, LSU fans care, blah, 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 all that shit. Right. But when it comes to a pro team in a city where, everybody can get united, you've got Michigan, Michigan State, even, random ass, Notre Dame fans, everybody cares. And it's going to be, because the Commanders are not, one of those teams that travels insanely well, they're not a local team, it's going to be 95, 96, 97% Lions fans. It's going to be absolutely a madhouse. And, I think if we come out and lay the wood on offense and defense in the first couple of drives, it's going to get away from them. I think Jaden Daniels, though, if anybody can handle it, I'm not even going to lie. I think, if it was Jordan Love, I'd be more concerned for Jordan Love than I would be for Jaden Daniels to crack under pressure.
I do, too. That's, his weirdest trait. He seems unfazed. That's, why he seems dangerous to me. Not that I don't think we can handle him, but, he's, smiley and poised most of all the games, and I'm just It's I can't figure it out. I can't get a read on him. I know nothing about the guy, but I don't know. That's just not typical out of a human.
Dude, I remember week 6 when the Commanders were 5-1. I was I don't know, Jaden Daniels kind of scares me. The Commanders kind of scare me. And you guys are oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And look where we are. It's a fate, man. We're here. But just a comparison, Jim, you brought up the college environment. I went recently to a Michigan USC game, the game when they won on the last play of the game. And it was so loud from screaming near the end zone. You could feel the wind, you could just feel the sound hitting. It was honestly painful. Ford Field's louder than that. I went to a Lions game when we weren't that good. It was louder than that environment. So completely different environment, and LSU's not touching the big house, so fuck out of here.
It's caused issues too in the games. We saw it even in the last game we played. We had issues with the clock and the play clock, and wound down, not ready.
Right.
Hey.
Right. So what do you guys I know I'm throwing this on you. Let's talk about some score predictions. All right? Let's talk about some score predictions. So let me see it right here. So the Lions are favored by, it opened up at, I believe, 7 or 8.5. Trying to look it up. What? So Lions are favored at 8.5 points. 8.5. That's a lot.
Disrespectful of a line, but I will say. I agree, Kane. I think it's. I don't want to. I mean, they don't give a shit. No one's ever.
Yeah, you don't want to discount it. Yeah, right.
It's going to be like 30. It's going to be like 34 to like 20, in my opinion. I think they'll keep it close for like a quarter, but I like us to score. I like us to go up and down the field. I like them to get their couple pops, maybe even early, maybe even a touchdown early. But I don't know. It would be tough for me to see the Lions losing this game. We do play some teams closer than we should, but I don't see it.
George, I'll give you a little bit of time. I know you're thinking. So it sucks that it has to be them. We've been talking about this coveted bye week for weeks now, how we need this, get everybody healthy. And if Zeitler plays, if Terran Arnold plays, literally everyone that we needed for this game is going to be healthy. So it sucks that it has to be them. We were hoping that we could beat on the fucking Packers or Vikings again, or the Rams again. We were hoping that we could. It sucks for Jaden Daniels that he's coming to this environment and he's going to get absolutely shit stomped. It's going to be probably one of the defining moments that sets him up for long-term success. But I think the Lions are going to win 42-17.
Okay. I like it.
So, I mean, it's going to set him up for success. He's going to be a problem for the rest of our lives. Well,
the problem child, like Jake Paul.
The problem child, yeah, Jake Paul. How about you, George?
That's such a cool name for him.
He's
so badass.
Well, dude, I was gonna say something like similar to you guys, but it's gonna seem less impactful now. I think 40-21, we're kicking their ass. I definitely think we're kicking their ass. I knock on wood, God willing, please God, say I'm not wrong, but I don't. Unless Jaden Daniels goes off, there's no fucking way we lose this game. I know that I'm confident on that, and that could be my cockiness catching up with me. But I mean, if we lost to the Commanders, I would be so fucking sad. And if we even keep it close, I mean, I'll be happy we win, but I'll be a little bit pissed off. I mean, wouldn't you guys? If this game's close,
George, there's literally no chance.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't see a situation where I feel like we've beat up on better teams.
Much better teams.
If it's close, but not like truly edge of your seats close, I won't be that bummed out because they're a decent team and it's the NFL playoffs. Everything can happen. But it reminds me when I played high school lacrosse, and for the 20 people that listen to this, maybe 15 of you will get this reference. Brother Rice was really good at lacrosse. Had won 13 state titles, but our coach, he had a good game plan. He had a good speech. He was like, we can hang with them. We can do this. And we believed ourselves. We lost 22-9. So it's going to happen. They're going to be like us. The Lions are going to be like Brother Rice. By the way, screw those guys. I don't really know them, but screw them because they kicked our shit in.
They're private school. Private school is for losers. Sorry if you go to private school, anybody listening to this, but lame, loser. Join the public like the rest of us. Get thrown to the fire.
Loser. Yeah, no, but they're going to be Clarkson varsity lacrosse 2013, and we're going to be Brother Rice lacrosse 2013.
No way we lose, guys. I think the last thing I want to talk about is the All-Pro team, AP All-Pro team. Did you guys see some of the Lions players that made it?
Yeah.
So I think, what do you guys think about Amon-Ra St. Brown making it? He was the third receiver. I think statistically definitely deserves it, and I think being on the winningest team in the NFL probably boasted that as well. So, well deserved. I mean, there's been some controversy at the right tackle position. So Penei Sewell, and then what's the guy from the Eagles? big
Lane
bald.
Johnson.
Yeah, big bald fucker, Lane Johnson. There's some controversy about Penei Sewell getting it over him, but I mean, when you're that fucking ugly like Lane Johnson, you're just not going to win the popular vote. So, I mean,
Yeah, that dumb hockey needs to be quiet. No, I think at the end of the day, the other thing that's not considered is Penei Sewell, and I know this doesn't actually always happen because usually you actually want to target the bad player, but or the worst of the two. But Penei Sewell does deal. I think he has to deal with more and put on his shoulders because while the Lions' offensive line is good, I think if you look at the Eagles' other bookend tackle, it's a better tackle. Jordan Mailata, no offense to Decker, is better. We have the better center. I mean, they're comparable lines. I think at the end of the day, it's a coin flip, and like the stats are relatively close. I'm sure if I was on the other side of this, I'd be saying, "No way, Penei Sewell should be numbered for first." Bottom line is the splitting hairs, and I think Penei Sewell probably gets more attention from opposing defensive coaches vis-a-vis who else is on his line versus Lane Johnson.
yep.
So who gives a fuck? That crybaby can cry about it. If he wants to use that as motivation, put it up there. Do whatever you want to do.
Right. We're sitting here arguing about offensive lineman stats. If you go and look at the stats, like the differential in the stats, it's not
De
a lot.
minimis. De minimis. It's
So-
like one sack difference.
Right.
Right.
For like all of them. It's like this Creed Humphrey guy, I bet from Kansas City, he's been good. We've known
Yeah,
that.
he's been good.
But that's bullshit. Frank Ragnow should be fucking up there. Like that, we had to fucking wait out Jason Kelsey's fucking short bitch ass the whole fucking career just for Frank Ragnow to finally get some fucking respect.
Right. No, that's a good
And
point.
now we got fucking fat fuck inbred piece of shit from Kansas City, Taylor Swift fucking team.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
No,
but
that's
I'm
actually
sick
a
and
great
tired of
point.
this. We said, where the hell is Frank Ragnow? Where the hell is he at now? Again.
No, I agree with that. That is a really good point that I didn't even think about as like a counter argument. Like Jason Kelsey was a great professional, but there were years where he wasn't the best center in the league, and he won it probably more years than he should have. So,
And like we all had to take a back seat. He's great. He's a veteran. He's older. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Fuck all that. Ugh.
Frank is better looking than Creed Humphrey. Just looked into Creed Humphrey's face. Look,
Hills have eyes.
You trade. I think we traded one guy who got first team for second team, and you could have reversed him. But the bottom line is pretty cool that we got two guys on the first two on our line that are all pro players.
Fuck, he's ugly.
That's awesome.
It is.
And by the way, Zeitler, I think he was some sort of award. He might have gotten Pro Bowl.
He was a Pro Bowler last year.
And I think he's a snub this year if he's not in the Pro Bowl because he's had a great year as well at the guard position. Old as shit too. He's old as hell and he's had a great year.
He's yanking our average age up a lot.
Yeah, people do the Lions are an old team. It's like, well, yeah, him, Graham Glasgow are like moon shooting our average age. So one of those guys can be Christian Mahogany when he's the starter next year for one of those two. It's like people do the Packers are so much younger.
Right, they're barely. Like look at the average age.
It's not the NBA, bro. It's not the fucking NBA. It's the NFL. You're 2 years younger.
That's another stat that like look at the difference in like the average age on teams. We're talking decimals. We're talking decimals of age.
Baseball, hockey, and basketball, sometimes it's like literally 10 years. Like you look at baseball, it's like the average age of the Los Angeles Dodgers is 34, and of the Marlins, it's 23. The Packers are so fucking young. The average age is 20.
No, and I think a perfect example of that is like we're Pistons fans. Pistons are so young. No, that shit was horrible. Bring some vets in. We need a ballot. So
thank God we finally did.
But thank God we finally did. So shout out to the Pistons. But
Zeitler out this week.
He's 50-50 right now. They don't know. From what I've seen.
He's going to play.
He's going to play. Him and TA are both 50-50.
They're going to play.
I thought he's playing.
You said he's going to play, but, Dan Campbell does the coach speak. I honestly think half of it is like, what the coaches do. They try to like...
Campbell throws me off. That's what he's doing. He's throwing them off. Throwing the opposing team off. Right?
Yeah.
Or no? Or just giving the political answer.
I think he's saying suck fucking swallow. No, yeah, that's definitely... No, he is giving the political answer, for sure. For sure he's giving the political answer.
Terrion had a full practice today. He's playing.
Oh, good. Would you kiss him? No, but Jack Fox, also first team All-Pro. Shout out Jack Fox.
Didn't he not punt like 3 games?
Yeah, but when he did punt, he was so good.
That probably adds to his stats though, his like a good average and all that.
Yeah,
Just
0.
Less.
Well, thing is, what's cool about him is it's awesome that he like is so good at punting, but he doesn't have to do it that often. So like he just literally gets paid, and he's probably one of the better paid punters. He gets paid to chill the fuck out and watch good football games from the sidelines.
Right.
He's basically just a super fan that's really good at one random skill. That's awesome. I would love to be him.
Apparently, they asked the team like who the hardest hitter is, and they said that it was him.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm fucking with you. No.
Jack Fox?
They said he's a missile on punt. Like you never see him because he never gets the hit, but like he's flying down there full speed, head at like chest level.
What if he got paralyzed and we like just because he's like I'm gonna hit him? Anyways,
and then Penny Sewell's punting.
Punting for 12 yards. Who else do we have on the All-Pro team? We had
Defense, Kirby.
Yeah, and then well deserved Kirby Joseph. I mean,
Zuper,
best safety in the league, best DB in the league, probably.
Yeah, Matt Stafford can go to hell for starting that narrative, and Vikings fans can burn in rotten hell. Rams fans can burn in rotten hell. Tucker Kraft and Packers fans can burn in rotten hell. Yeah, and anybody who didn't vote for him, and the players or coaches for Pro Bowl, rotten hell. But
yeah. Honestly, if they didn't vote for him for Pro Bowl, whoever didn't, they're honestly being a little bitch. They're being a little whiny bitch.
Soft as baby shit.
Well, hey, the cool part is Xavier McKinney gets to play in the Pro Bowl now because his team got eliminated, so he's for sure going. So he won't need his alternate spot, so, because Kirby will be playing anyway, so who knows what the alternate would be.
You're right, so who gives a fuck?
Second team is interesting.
AP All-Pro is phenomenal. You look at second team, let's see.
Three Lions got that, right?
Yeah, we got Frank.
Frank, yep.
Like I said.
Shout out Frank Giotto.
Yeah, shout out
Cuzzo.
Cuzzo. What's good, Cuzzo?
And then on
Khalif Raymond.
I'll say snub.
BB?
BB,
yeah. Wait, who got second team other than Khalif and Frank? Just
those two.
Right. Okay.
And then maybe there's a third.
No, there should be a third.
No, but Kyle Hamilton and Buda Baker. I mean,
Buda bless this be.
Buda. Like I hate that they do two safeties because like Kirby and McKinney played the same position. Because honestly, Buda Baker probably should have won strong safety, and then BB should have been second. Kyle Hamilton, get the fuck out of here. Not this year.
Yeah.
So
no,
good episode. I think.
Wait, we're gonna put our bets in real quick.
Are we doing actual bets?
You already won.
This motherfucker wants to catch me. That's what he wants to do.
There's only a loser. There's only a loser, and there's already a loser.
Still, it's pride. It's pride. George, it's impossible. Drew's at 27%. You're at 53%. It's not statistically possible for him to catch you.
Yeah, you won't be caught. But all right, I'm gonna rattle off
the way he bets.
Yeah, he's fucked. I'm gonna go first. I actually guarantee this one. Guarantee it. Jameson Williams over 55.5 receiving yards.
Oh, I like that guarantee.
Literal guarantee. Go put your second mortgage on it.
Boom!
You gotta do 55.5. Boom! Anyways, that's mine.
All right, George, you want to go or you want me to go?
If you got one ready, because I don't. I wasn't expecting to do this at all.
Let me give you Drew's fake pick of the week.
You might
I think Olamide Zaccheaus over 100 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. That's Drew's.
It's crazy that these props are already out. It's Tuesday.
They play on Saturday, so I guess that might be why.
You're right. It is Tuesday, which is interesting. I was thinking today was Wednesday. All right.
Nope. You have one more day to be a cog in the machine, buddy. Everybody's working for the weekend.
Oh my god. I wanted to take Jaden Daniels over rushing, but it's like 54.5.
If he gets that, I'll split my coconut open.
Who's their starting running back? Is it Eckler or is it Robinson?
They split. They split. Yeah. They're straight 50-50.
They actually sometimes even go down to McNichols, I think, and Rodriguez.
Yep.
They're like more of a committee than any team I know. Jaden Daniels is their leading rusher by like 100 yards.
Ugh. All right. Are you choosing Kane or am I next?
So they actually have the sack props, and they're kind of sexy.
Do they?
It's in the sack props are sitting at 0.25. So if you get one sack, you hit it.
Kane's always been attracted to sacks.
Fuck you.
Ooh, I might take a sack then. Ooh, Jaden Daniels though. Ooh,
That'd be a juicy sack.
Who you taking?
Okay.
Got to take a Lion. No, we're not doing any enemy
I
bets
got you.
anymore.
I got you.
Unless
No
it's
drill.
negative.
I got you. Listen, solo tackles. Alex Anzalone over 4.5.
Ooh.
Solos.
Crazy one. That's crazy.
It's sitting at -110 over under. So
Give it to me. Scream. Instead of with betting, we're not going to say no Diddy. We'll say no Drew from now on. If it's the other team's bet or a bad bet, no Drew.
No, true.
I think he actually does win a decent amount of money in some of his own betting now. He
only tells us about his wins. He only tells us. He's one of those personalities where he only talk about the wins.
putting that in public.
Using his what's it called, the med school, what's it called
The student loans.
The student loans, yeah, medical school student loans.
Well, that's a worse use of it than one of our other friends who put it into the stock market, which also,
But he hit big, no?
Oh yeah, big time, big.
Nvidia, he juiced Nvidia.
I think he can almost borderline pay off his entire student loan portfolio.
Jeez. All right, George, give us your fucking pick.
That's not true. But it is a lot. But let me think. Levi Onwuzurike over 0.25 sacks.
So one sack.
One sack.
Got it.
Onwuzurike.
Right.
It's coming.
I don't want that one. I like the Gibbs over 82.5 rushing yards. I like it.
I thought you did the Anzalone.
I did the Anzalone.
Take the Anzalone. Take the Gibbs.
The Anzalone, that's fun. No, the Anzalone's fun though.
God, now you got me thinking.
No, you guys picked fun bets. Let's run with it. What the fuck? It's the last.
Okay.
You didn't pick a fun bet. You didn't pick a fun bet.
Yeah, switch to a fun one, Jim.
We all picked JMO like
all
six
right, I'm
times.
gonna give you two. I'm gonna give you two to try to catch up with Kane. I get one, which is my guarantee of the week, just absolute lock. Forget about any other bet. If you want to make money this week, forget about any other bet you've ever done. All right, let me get something fun. This is a truly fun one. Who knows? Any team to score 40+ points? Yes.
Ooh, that's a fun one. Just throw that in the parlay. That won't be your bet. Let's just throw that in the parlay.
All right.
Parlays. That's
how you make the money.
That's how you make the money. That's also how most people lose their money. All their bets would hit, and then they parlayed that stupid fucker bet that they thought would juice it, and they get fucked.
Or you put on the Saquon and anytime TD, and it just doesn't hit.
Dude, that happened with the one guy during the Packers game that was sitting next to me. He kept like talking about it. And in my head, I'm like, respectfully, I don't give a fuck about your bets, but I just want to win this game.
He hits on De'Ami Brown touchdown, but he doesn't hit on Saquon Barkley touchdown.
Right. Life, man. Life's a garden. Dig it. But thank you everybody for listening to this episode of the Lions Main Podcast. That's a Joe Dirt reference. Lions Main Podcast. Tune in. Watch the game. We're going to be talking all about it after we blow out the Commanders. And I'm not even being cocky. They're a good team. They're going to be a problem for years, but we're going to blow their ass out. So thank you guys for listening and listen in next week when we beat the shit out of the LA Rams. You heard it here first.
Time to split some cheeks, baby.
I got to do the edit.
This is the Lions Main Podcast.
Fuck the commies.